All right, having had surprising success for me anyway, yesterday finishing Monday's crossword, the Guardian Cryptic Crossword. I'm going to try Tuesdays. I have a nasty feeling, though, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Anyway, let's give it a go. So let's see, we have a one that's split across two here, 1 and 5 across. Empty large car. Earth cost appalling 7-7. Empty, I think, usually means to remove the inner letters, so it could be LE at the start, emptying the word large, and then a word for car, but a question mark. And then Earth cost, and then does the whole thing mean appalling? Now I'm going to need some letters for that one. Better garden party, 5 letters. It could be better as in somebody who bets, and then garden party. I mean, they want us to put garden party together, but I wonder if it could be a word for, maybe it's better garden, and then a word, and it means party can be a do. No, I'm not getting anything on that. Yeah, this is, I think, going to be a lot more difficult. Helper, turned. So maybe a word for somebody who helps and it's turned around. To describe, I think, can mean around. A complicated graph, that might be an anagram of graph, and the whole thing means birth control. Well, contraceptive, obviously too long. Yeah, not getting that one either. Birth control. Sponge. But it might, yeah, it might be might not be what we think of as birth control. Excuse me. All right, this is not starting off well. Forest dwellers, seeing profit come back to earth, question mark, 5-5. I think it might be forest dwellers, maybe from mythology, naiads or such. And then it's made from a prophet, the name of a prophet backwards, and then to earth. Of course, could just be a forest. Something woods, tiger woods, no. Oh my goodness. All right, here we have another one split across two words. Posed. Oh, but this is very interesting. I've never seen this before, where it's a single word answer, but they've just written it across 12 and 21. I wonder if it's significant that they are, 12 is 21 backwards, and then just also their position in the grid is reflective, but posed with indignation and mockery. No, nothing coming. And here's another one that's split. So maybe this is a bit of a theme. A patch liable. That certainly seems like some kind of indicator, or sorry, an anagram, just they're strange words, a patch liable to emerge from this. So maybe because we need 17 letters. No, I'm not, I don't think now it's an anagram. The numbers don't add up if I'm adding them right. But this feature of first floor letters, no, wow. Okay, contents of menu binder covered by German improvements. Well, contents of makes me think that it might be a hidden, but I don't see anything hidden in there. And then by German, is it the German word for by? What is the German for by? And the whole thing means improvements. Wow. Here we have some more birth control. Brief time in fashion. A nose condom. Well, fashion could be a anagram indicator to fashion something from these letters. And I mean, a nose condom seems so ridiculous, but that's 11 letters. Unless you're supposed to ignore the A, but they would have omitted that if it wasn't part of the wordplay. A nose. Wow. Prophylactic. What's brief time? Could be a sec. And do you put that in a word for fashion? Yikes. Leisurely moo in field, getting loud at the end, 4-5. So I'm wondering if this whole thing means leisurely, slow paced would be leisurely, but where's the moo? Oh, yes, to moo is to low. So maybe I'm getting one. Let's put it in and see if I can work out the rest of it. So low should then be in a field. Oh, so it's in a space. And then, oh yes, getting the last letter of loud. I was thinking it was going to be F for forte, but no, it's just that D. So thank goodness, finally got one. I'll continue on with the acrosses, and then we'll look at the downs. Representation is fine in net returns. So returns, of course, makes me think you have to write something backwards. Representation. Image. No. At last, it's my turn. Give your blessing. Try working together. Cooperate. Well, I mean, maybe finally fits the definition at last. But it's my turn. Maybe you reverse my. No, this is very tough. Others yelled regularly for transformation. Well, regularly can sometimes mean you take alternating letters from the phrase. I don't think it would begin OHRY. So then TESEL. No, that doesn't sound right either. Others yelled regularly. Well, what's a 7-letter word for transformation? Unless it's yelled regularly and then we transform the word for. No, we would only get 3 letters from yelled and then 3 from for, so yikes. So out of all the across, I got 1. All right. Cutties, type of sea. Well, the cutty sark. I'm not exactly sure I know what cutty means. So, yeah, I'm going to need letters for that one too. Catch, mate, briefly, on the way up. Well, catch in cricket, or maybe just caught, is C. And mate, of course, that could be mate the verb, or mate as in a friend, pal, chum. On the way up, again, for a down clue, makes me think it's going to be back something backwards. Whew. Using a digger as weapon to secure poor quality residence. I think this might be a double definition and sort of like a punning clue. What's a poor quality residence? A tenement? No. Summer. Oh, finally, an easy one. So a word that means summer, as in summing up things, and then a type of snake, adder. Oh my goodness. Now that is useful to have one across ending in an A. Anyway, we'll come back to that. A bracelet designed, so that certainly sounds like an anagram indicator, for future identification. Well, we'll try the anagram helper and put in a bracelet. Shuffle. Actually, I think it's more useful. This is the way I would do it if I was doing the crossword in the newspaper with a pen. I like to write the letters in a, maybe not a circle, but just in a jumble like this. I thought I had tabernacle, but we're missing the N. Future identification. What does that even mean? I think the question mark indicates it's a bit of a stretch, or you have to think sideways to get it. Something cart. I'm going to pause and sip my coffee and look at these letters and wait for inspiration. Well, the good news is I really enjoyed my sips of coffee. The bad news is nothing is coming to me, but I did think if at future identification, it's some kind of fortune-telling device like a crystal ball or tea leaves. or maybe some kind of an almanac or something that looks to the future. Oh, do we have celebrate? No, we have two A's. No, I'm going to have to give up on that one. We'll come back to it. Long suffering looks like a double definition. So to long, to pine, or to yearn. Oh, ache. To ache for somebody, I suppose. To long, and then an ache is suffering. I think that's right. Deal using diplomacy to secure managed end of hostilities. Well, that's very timely. Deal using diplomacy. I mean, that's such a normal sounding sentence that it's very hard to see where's the definition and where is the wordplay. I mean, end of hostilities is S, and then maybe an anagram of secure, and it's so that would give us 7 letters. Nope. Turn up volume in bank from elsewhere. So it could be just simply turn up, attend. Or maybe it means from elsewhere. And so turn up vol, maybe. So maybe it has LOV in a word for bank, which of course could be a bank of earth, a river bank, as well as a financial institution. That would have LOV in it, and it would mean either elsewhere or from elsewhere, like non-local. Nope. Nice and within the rules to show small busts. 10 letters. I think maybe it's an anagram, or maybe the meaning is a technical term for small busts, small statues. Statuettes, does that? Oh, yes. And funnily enough, when I saw nice, I was thinking about a crossword that Simon from Cracking the Cryptic did recently. And it was one of the rare cases where I spotted the trick of it before he did. It doesn't happen very often, believe me. But it said Angers policeman. And I realized that Angers is also a town in France, Angers, I think they would pronounce it. And slang term for a policeman in France is flic, which I know from, there was a French film, probably 30, 40 years ago called Le Flic. And so when I saw nice, I thought, maybe it's Nice. And then the and would be E-T. And within statutes would then be statuettes. Phew. Very happy to get that one, although the letters it's giving us, T's, an E, and an S, are not very useful. Order hot items for starters and a cherry pudding. So again, where's the definition? I think it might be order. might be the definition, which of course can have multiple different meanings as a noun or a verb. But hot items, for starters, could be the HI with an anagram of a cherry pudding, making a pudding out of a cherry. Is that an acceptable anagram indicator? And then, yes, so not many words begin with HI, so that would then be hierarchy. All right, maybe things are finally turning around for me. Yeah, I think that anagram works. A cherry, yeah. Fancy seeing us as clever people with an exclamation, so there's something funny going on here. Fancy seeing us. I think I'm going to pause and have some more of that lovely, lovely coffee, so please stand by. No, nothing is coming to me on this one. I'm thinking it means clever people, which would then put an S for 27 across. Fancy. Oh, of course, yes. So it is fancy is an anagram indicator, and it is geniuses. I thought the plural was genii anyway. 70 down, insert implement in cut. Again, this could go either way. I'm thinking insert, and then you put a word for an implement inside a word for cut. But it could also be a word for insert followed by a word for implement. It's like something tool. No. Essential, where first and foremost for Shrek character. Well, there's a donkey. I know that in Britain they call a kind of an anorak a donkey jacket, don't they? Which always seems very insulting to those who wear it. Could that be it? But then there's really no, is just a double. Now, the first and foremost, I mean, would certainly suggest, for example, the W from where is the first, and then, could it be EW? And then a word for foremost, main, for Shrek character. Who else is in Shrek? Princess Fiona. I can't remember the name of the antagonist. Gonna have to come back to that. After love, which would seem like an O, packed for Danish port. Ostend, I thought, was in the Netherlands. I think I may pause and have a sneaky look for Ostend to see where it is, because I don't get the packed part. But let's see where Ostend is. Well, I was a little bit off. It's actually Belgium. And then it occurs to me anyway, they would never be so obvious as to tell you it's a Danish port. I think they would just say port. So I'm wondering if it's, so it could be Ostend, which is a coastal city anyway. I think it's a port as well. And And then packed for Danish, could that be S-T-E-N-D? D for Danish at the end, maybe? So then how is S-T-E-N packed? There's a Sten gun. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back to that one. Here was our first floor letters. We're starting to get some letters in it. A patch liable to emerge from this feature of first floor letters. And of course, in Britain, the first floor is upstairs from the ground floor. What would be called the second floor in the US. So a patch first floor letters. Nope. Pole in a fight. Oh, yeah, a spar. It's a double definition. Is a flagpole, is that what you call a spar? And then a fight would be a sparring match. All right, let's go back and see. We did get a couple of A's here for our empty large car. Earth cost appalling. Nope. 10 across. Helper turn to describe complicated graph for birth control. Well, a helper could be an aid. So could that be a DI? Oh, yes, a diaphragm. So there's the complicated graph, G-R-A-P-H. Oh, it's, I think the helper is made, and it's not just turned backwards, it's actually anagrammed. Oh, no, it is turned backward. Yeah, sorry, M-A. Yeah, if you go this way, M-A-I-D. Yeah, all right, so that makes sense. Just add 8 down. Now we have this M. Turn up volume in bank from elsewhere. No, nothing occurring to me. And then we just have a couple of A's here, which are not very useful. Well, maybe for the anagram of a bracelet. Something trace, maybe? Trace and Bila. No. Okay, 14. Here is our patch libel from the first 4. The H should be useful, but I'm not seeing anything. Contents of menu binder covered by German improvements. So I think it is improvements. Enlightenments. No, it doesn't quite fit. But I think it might end in MENTS. Yeah, so like renovations or something like that. So is it an anagram of and where does the German come in? Oh, that could be, of course, DE for Germany. No, not getting that. So here's our posed with indignation and mockery. Again, that really confuses me that that is divided into two. There has to be some meaning to it. I can't imagine that it's the setter could not think of two separate three-letter words here. Posed. Sat. Posed is sat. And indignation is ire. And that would mean mockery. I'm a little confused by that. I'll have to read through the comments later, which I have not looked at, just to see if anyone else is complaining about that. Yikes. Interesting. All right. How about 26 across? Begins with T. Representation is fine. In. So it's going to be net returns. So there's going to be an E here or here. And then a word for fine. But what is representation? 5 letters beginning with T, ending in N. Representation in the political sense are a drawing, representation. Yikes, okay. 27 should be easy. We have a lot of letters here. At last, it's my turn. Give your blessing. Try working together. Give your blessing. What would that be? And I'm presuming it means working together. Oh, I'm being very slow today that I don't get that one. No. Here was our insert implement and cut. Don't really have anything other than that E, which doesn't really help me. Short word for an implement. No, and insert. No. Yikes. That one. Here's our deal using diplomacy to secure managed end of hostilities. It seems like it should be something like ceasefire, but armistice. No. Not getting any of these. I'm going to pause, refill my coffee, and then resume when I've gotten a handle on at least one of these. So please stand by. All right, well, I actually got out a piece of paper and a pen, and I worked on the anagram of a bracelet. And I'm sure many of you have spotted it already, but the key for me was thinking about the B. That was sort of the odd man out and what letters it could go with. And then I realized there's the ABLE ending, and that didn't leave many letters. So traceable, designed for future identification. So thank goodness I got that. that gives us a T, so that's useful, I think. Empty large car, earth cost, appalling. Empty large car, so 14 letters in the answer. Yeah, appalling could be an anagram indicator too, but I'm not sure how you get 14 letters. Oh, no, hold on. Earth cost is 9, 12 for car, and then well, yeah, then the empty would have to do double duty as being emptying out the large and being the definition. But what is a two-word phrase for either empty or I think more likely appalling? Could it be cost appalling? I don't think so. Now we do have both the question mark and the exclamation making me think maybe there's a little bit of overlap between the definition and the wordplay. And so we really have to use our intuition on this one and our induction rather than deduction. But not thinking of it. All right. Oh, we do have that B now from traceable. Should help us with a patch liable to emerge from this feature of first floor letters. I'm wondering if the definition, excuse me, could be letters as in literature. And now it's H something B something T. But I wonder if it could be an IGHT, like light B something T, or 8, or sight, night. Could it be some type of habitation? No. Okay, I think I'm going to pause again, just not to waste everyone's time, and think about these. Well, 18 across, the word enhancements fits, and I should have thought of that from my days in software development. Menu, so that's contents of menu. So yeah, maybe it's not content. I'm not sure I see this at all, how that could be right. I mean, it fits from the meaning of improvements, but no. Yeah, and I think it's more likely that somewhere we have to anagram menu, or else it's the contents of menu binder, which would be all of the letters except for the first M and the final R. That would give us a U and a B and an I. And then covered by German. Where's our German? Yeah, I'm not sure about enhancements. I'll leave it in for now to see if that H might help us on 17 down. Insert, implement, in cut. No, that doesn't look right. SH, TH. Maybe. THR. No, I don't like enhancements. I'll leave the ments in for now. I think that might be right with the menu. Oh, and get rid of that H. Wow, very tricky. Actually, this 27 across seems like it should be the easiest one to get, having the initial S and the ending R something Y. Yeah, ending in an ly would make sense for certainly at last as an adverb. Even working together could be an adverb indicator. Try working. At last it's my turn. No. All right, back on pause. Okay, I was thinking about 19 down again, the Shrek character. I said donkey earlier. I still don't get the wordplay, or if it's just simply a double definition, but it just seems to have some extraneous verbiage. But that would put a K here, and for 26 across, representation is fine. In net returns, then token would fit. OK is fine in net backwards. Now, token defining it as representation seems a little un-PC for the Guardian of all newspapers. Anyway, so then I'm going to put in donkey. I don't fully get it. If you do, why this? I suppose maybe because the essential wear is donkey jacket, and it's just the first word of that phrase gives you the Shrek character. I suppose that makes sense. Now for 28 across. Ooh, so the yelled regularly does suggest that we have to use the Y, L, and D. Is that right? What? And then something for others. I'm still not getting that. I mean, maybe it's no, I think it has to be that way, but others yelled regularly. I'm not seeing, I don't know any word that ends in YLD, other than a proper name, I suppose. That would give us, so now it's not Ostend, but I think the D might be right for Danish. After love, and then what is packed? And then port. Well, maybe port as a verb. But wow, this is very, very tricky. I've definitely bitten off more than I can chew today. All right, let's try our nose condom. Brief time in fashion. Oh, that could be a fad. And then a nose. Fada something. So is there another word for? That's another word for condom. French letter, and of course the French then call it an English overcoat. A-nose condom. Yeah, maybe I'll look up. I try and do these without resorting to other references until the end, but I'm going to, because this one is just so tough, I'm going to look up synonyms for condom. Well, I didn't find any useful synonyms for condom, but I did then look up insert, and I would never have thought of this word, but shoehorn, and then the wordplay is the implement is the hoe, and it's inside of shorn for cut. Okay, so now that should help. Let me get rid of that L. At last, it's my turn. Something like seniority. Give your blessing. Try working together. Still not getting that. That can't be. So it could be R-A-Y, R-E-Y, but I don't think so. R-O-Y, R-L-Y, of course, we had before. R-T-Y. Oh, synergy is working together. So let's, yeah, I'm pretty confident of that, but let's try and work out the wordplay. At last, it's, I think it's the last letter of all of these words. Yeah, we had one like that I saw the other day. So S-Y-N-E-R-G-Y. Okay. Phew. All right, I'm going to pause again and see if I can work out another one. Well, just looking again at 18 across, now that we have the H from shoehorn, that does suggest enhancements is right. Oh, I just realized as I typed in H-A-N, Hans. So the contents of menu is E-N, and then we have a binder. Oh, cement as a binder. Wow. Covered by Hans is the German, and that is enhancements. Wow. So now for 3 down, using a digger, I think it probably ends in ing, and then I thought of excavating. So let's see how that might work. Poor quality residence. Well, I was thinking cave, but and then what's the weapon? An axe. To secure. Well, I'm thinking just it's a word for a weapon. Oh, what's the missile they have in Britain? Is that it? Began with an EX. Can't remember its name now. Oh no, that's going to put a V at the end of this 5-letter word, which is very unlikely. But I do think it could be using a digger as the definition. But maybe it is the poor quality residence. All right, back to the drawing board. All right, I finally got another one. I've been looking at most of these again. Brief time, I just thought of that as the definition, looked at 22 across and with the letters nanosecond. And then again, I was struggling to see how, because I kept thinking fashion was an anagram indicator, but it's in nanosecond. So that was that. I think I'm going to pause here, recharge my tablet, and then resume. I'll probably research a few of these before I finish up the video, just so as not to waste your time. Thank you. Alrighty, I am back from a delightful lunch and looked at these some more, and I think I have them all solved. Not 100% sure of some of them, but anyway, the first one I looked at again was 28 across, and I realized others could be rest, and then yelled, I messed up the every other letter. It would be YLE. I think I just wanted the D at the end of 20 down, but to restyle would be a transformation, and YLE are every other letters of yelled. So then 20 down after love, so that is an O, and then packed is dense, and so dense, it actually is a Danish port. I'm surprised they gave us that. Anyway, not complaining. I think it was at this point I looked at 14 across with 23 down, and 23 down looked like it would be older, odder, or order. And then I realized, 14 across could be alphabetical. Now, this one I admit I am not 100% sure of. A patch liable, I think, is the anagram of alphabetical. And then, but the feature of, I don't even see a definition of alphabetical order. First floor letters. Yeah, unless it's saying arranging things by their first letter, but alphabetical order also sorts by the first, second, third letters, as many as is needed. So I don't fully understand that. If you do, please set me straight. I would appreciate it. All right. Then I think I looked at 8 down and saw that remotely would fit from elsewhere. A lot of people working remotely, of course, these days. And so we have to bank on something is to rely on it. So this R and then this ELY. And then within that we have tome backwards. So the volume was not music volume or noise sound volume, but a book volume. Then after that, so looking now at 1 and 5 across, the empty large car, earth cost appalling. I mean, I knew from the question mark and the exclamation point that it was going to be quite jokey, and that the wordplay would probably include the definition. And I just wasn't having much luck with the anagram, but I did see that the second word could be tractor, which could be described as a large car. And then when I looked at the letters left over, I saw you could make Chelsea, which I know is a part of London, I think, frequented by the wealthy who have a lot of time on their hands. And so I did Google it, and apparently a Chelsea tractor is a disparaging term for a Land Rover or other large SUV that is designed to be driven off road on farms, but is driven around Chelsea and other suburbs by the rich. So, yeah, that's a tough one if you're not familiar with that slang term, but I did work it out eventually. Then for three down, I then realized that if it ended in ing, we now had sling, which is a weapon. And if that's secured or wrapped around a 5-letter word for a poor quality residence, could that mean using a digger? And I thought of hovel, giving us shoveling. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have spelled shoveling with 2 L's. It's probably one of those where maybe it depends where you're located in the world. Let's see, where did I go next? Oh, 7 down. Now that we have a starting T, there are not a lot of words that could fit in here. I thought of transact. And so tact is diplomacy, and that secures ran, which is managed, and S, which is the end of the word hostilities. So I'm happy with that one. 11 across. I had seen earlier that it might end in trees. And I liked this because it ends in seer backwards, which is the prophet. So you just have to have that going backwards to a word meaning earth. And I was thinking earth as in grounding electricity or dirt of some kind. But I think it's planet, but when you divide it up, you have plane trees. And so they could be described as forest dwellers. Then 9 across, I was, excuse me, still thinking of do being a word for party. And I realized to better as a verb could be to outdo. Again, the question mark indicates they're playing a little bit fast and loose. Is a garden party really an outdo? I mean, it's an outdoors do or an outside do, but I don't think it's an outdo. Anyway, we'll give it to them. So that just leaves 2. Cutty's type of C, I did use an online resource to find 6-letter words that match C, something O, something P, something. And I saw choppy, which can be a definition of the C. And I suppose if you have the word cutty, you could have choppy. But I think that could have done with a question mark as well. Because really there is no word cutty other than Cutty Sark. I did look that up, and apparently it was a nickname for a witch. Was it a book by Walter Scott? Had Cutty Sark as a character. So the original ship, the Cutty Sark, had a figurehead that was that witch carved out of wood. And then that just leaves 2 down, and the word that fits this letter pattern is entrap, to catch. And so your mate is your partner, and that is brief because we miss the final letter and it's on the way up, written backwards. All right, so that took me a long time, definitely a lot harder than Monday's crossword, but I'm happy just to have got there without reliance on too many outside sources. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.